Uh-huh. Yeah. But y'all don't hear me though. Uh-huh. Now, since y'all hear me now and y'all ready, let's get to it. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Carcino. Don't forget to hit the like button coming through the door. Subscribe if you are new here, and welcome if you are new here. Now, unfortunately, we have to discuss a few things about a person that many of us don't understand, a guy who goes by the name of Stephen A. Smith. And you might say, well, what in the hell are we talking about Stephen A. Smith for? Well, this is why. Stephen A. Smith decided in his most infinite intelligence that he would come out and blast Josh Gordon. Because Josh Gordon has had so many chances in this league. He kept violating the marijuana policy, blowing millions and millions of dollars. Great opportunities to play with Tom Brady and the Patriots and all of these different things. And I was with Stephen A. Smith, as I am a person that is advocate against not smoking and how marijuana smoke was one of the instruments used to destroy and weaken us as a people. But some people need to smoke. They need to keep their nerves calm. Some people can't handle life. They can't handle situations. They can't handle a lot of different things, and they need an outlet. They need to blow off some steam. And some people have issues. They just have problems. Just because you don't have them, don't mean that everybody else could just wade through it. They need a little something extra. A lot of people need something extra to get through the day. A lot of people need something that you don't even understand or can see. They need you to just hear them. And it's hard and difficult for them to explain what in the world they're going through. A lot of them don't know how to express themselves, to explain it, because they don't even understand it. So if they don't understand it, how can you? How can you understand something they don't about themselves? Now, if you look at the total picture, main picture and everything else involved, you see some scenarios you might not like or get, understand, picture, the whole kit and caboodle. As you can see, they didn't send out any notifications for you. But that's all right. We just keep going. That's just what we do. We keep going. We don't let none of this slow us. Now, when Johnny Football, Manziel, was doing this thing, it was understood by Stephen A. Smith, a brother, who kept telling Josh Gordon, you need to stay off the weed. When this guy is in an everyday struggle to try to stay off this substance, he probably don't know why he can't stop himself from doing it. He needs help. And he's tried to get it from every angle. Because whenever you mess up millions and millions of dollars, my friend, You have screwed up tremendously. We'll address Scotty tomorrow. Right now, we need to keep this focus right here. Because it was nobody but Stephen A. and Stephen A. alone that actually told people what was happening with Johnny Manziel. And he came out when Johnny Manziel, who had failed miserably in the NFL, the last thing he did was so bad, the league chose not to even mention it. YouTube had all of it. Absolutely. That's why I tell people right now, I said, look, check and see what's going on with everything that you got that's flying around on YouTube right now. Stephen A. Smith, oh, definitely do that. Don't forget to follow at Kwame Brown Bus Life and at Self Talk, 100%. Johnny Manziel, as Stephen A. made an excuse for him, saying Johnny Manziel wanted out of Cleveland and blamed the city of Cleveland as the reason why he would be out. Johnny Manziel was a nightmare. And Stephen A. had taken up for him after Skip was the one on his side and was on thinking this kid was the next guy to do all these wonderful things and could play. Stephen A. Smith blamed the Cleveland Browns and saying that he knows the ramifications. He's doing this because he might just don't want to play for the Cleveland Browns and he wants to force a trade. Out of all the things Manziel has done, well, you got to start thinking to yourself, what's going on here? Mm-hmm. It was often a lot of respect when it comes to Manziel. Well, the general manager, Ray Farmer, and I remember Mike Patine, both was fired over Johnny Manziel. Right? Then they got a new GM. The Cleveland Browns fired him basically and replaced him after they got Baker Mayfield. Same scenario. Now, when it comes to Johnny Manziel, it was not as animated, it was not as vicious as he was towards Josh Gordon, who was suspended for marijuana and weed, kept violating the marijuana policy. That drove him more insane than Johnny Manziel, who had domestic abuse, drunk, not going to mandatory meetings with the Cleveland Browns organization and all these things. He blames the Cleveland Browns organization. Then says, this guy must be going through problems. So I have to refer to Chris Carter. Chris Carter, who's a personal friend of mine, by the way. Chris Carter. He's not only somebody who has experience in this situation because of all the struggles he went through. He can relate to what's going on with Baker Mayfield. So I'll refer to him and I'll talk to him about what the mental capacity or the mental state that he must be going through, Johnny Manziel. Now, he had all that compassion for Manziel, who done way worse than Josh Gordon, who was put on a pedestal, Johnny Football. He was Johnny Be Good. But he was Johnny all the way goddamn bad. Then he started putting hands on the girlfriend every week. He's partying in Vegas. DUIs. Josh Gordon ain't did half of that. He ain't put nobody in trouble. He just kept failing the drug test for weed. That's all he kept doing. Man had an addiction. He had to smoke. And Stephen A. Smith crucified this guy. Every week. He can't stay off the weed, man. But when it's Johnny Manziel, you didn't have that energy. Why you didn't have that energy for Manziel? What? Wow, where's this infinite compassion come from? Oh, now we got to be concerned about Manziel's mental health. Why? Because he's white! That's why. The bosses told you you need to be a little bit more compassionate, didn't it? Well, that's what they told you. Yeah, I just wanted to bring that to reality so that you guys would understand that these are the people that we talk about because these are the puppets that they put in place for you to be represented by. You're supposed to be represented by these shows like First Take. They want you to listen to that person and say, oh, that's what we're talking about right now. He knows what he's talking about. This guy, the compassion for him means something more than Josh Gordon. But what you're doing, Stephen A., is you're painting a negative picture that they have portrayed. That if somebody's black, their worth is less than someone who's white. That's the negative stigmata you're putting on them. You're basically saying Johnny Manziel should be treated differently because he's white. Josh Gordon is black, so I could be able to clown him anytime I want because no one cares. There's no ramifications for that. But if I did Johnny football like that, I might have someone in the office say, hey, that guy's really going through something, Stephen A. That was too much. And I'll be like, oh, it wasn't too much for me to talk about Josh Gordon. Y'all didn't give a damn. But see, they know that. They know they ain't going to get in no trouble going after the brother man. So they can go as far as they want. No one cares. But as soon as you go after their guy, somebody's going to care. And they know that. These dudes don't stand for nothing and still fall for anything. So that ain't even the case no more. Oh, Lamar Jackson need to do this. Lamar Jackson need to be doing more. Lamar Jackson needs to do this. Lamar Jackson, who threw for like 3,000, 4,000 yards, he just don't pass enough. He keeps running too much. Why he running and he needs to be passing? Lamar Jackson, but Lamar Jackson's winning games. All these people ass they kissing losing. He needs to be more like this guy. Matthew Stafford ain't been a damn thing his whole career in Detroit. Now all of a sudden he's with the Rams. Now he's the savior. Let's see what happens when he gets to the playoffs. Lamar Jackson could have 300 yards passing and 100 yards rushing. They're going to tell you what Lamar Jackson need to be doing. What he need to be doing, he had 300 yards passing and 100 yards rushing. As great as Tom Brady is, if you put him on the Ravens, I don't think the Ravens win as much as they did what they had Lamar Jackson. That's facts. They don't want to champion that style of play because the mobile quarterback means the last position on the field that's predominantly dominated by the whites. And now college teams, They've all been looking at that mobile quarterback. And now those plays are being taught in high school, passed around, and now it's all infested in your NBA. I mean your NFL. That guy, that quarterback that could run with the football and make things happen on the move. And the reason why is because that's how the game has transcended to. So even the white quarterbacks are doing it. The day of the pocket passer, the three-step drop quarterback is out. Everybody's in shotgun. And they're West Coast offense the entire league. Well, you got to look at it for what it is. The thing is that Lamar Jackson has went into a real, what you would call a real shell. A lot of these guys are doing things that are not considered the standard practice of what you should do when you're in the league or have a responsibility. Stuart Scott, Stephen A. Smith has failed him. Stuart Scott and Stephen A. Smith used to have very private conversations about what it took to survive in this business. And being at ESPN, Stuart Scott knew, they don't like me. All these guys I'm sitting with and I'm working with, I know they don't like me, but they have to respect me. And that's what he told you, Stephen A. Smith. He said that to you, and I know he did. He told you, don't worry if they like you or not. You're trying to be liked. Make sure they respect you. They have no choice but to respect you. They don't have to like you, but they have to respect you. And with Stephen A. Smith, you went in there to be liked. And now they don't even respect you. They don't. They have to pay you because you're the only face they have in this new transition. You was in a great position. Your contract was up at the right time when they were doing this whole BLM movement, and it got you that $8 million a year. Or it got you big money. Because you would have been over at Fox. But since they gave you all that money, they said, well, no Negro's worth this kind of money. I know what we need to do. When we call you, you're going to be ready. I don't care if it's Sports Center or whatever. You better be on call. They took your podcast show and put it on the ESPN network. Your radio show you used to have, they took that off and put you on there. Now you want to do this. We're going to go ahead and do the show, this night primetime host show you want to do. Now you're going to be doing that. You know what else is going to be missing? Sleep. You're going to miss a lot of sleep behind this. All of that stuff is thrown right out of the window. Another thing people take for granted: rest. Proper rest. So, anyhow, it is what it is. I'm going to get out of here. I just wanted to point these facts out. They didn't send out any notifications, but as we can see. And thank you guys, man, for always standing by me, being real. Don't forget to hit the like button. You guys just barely got here. Some of you probably watched this, and some of you might not even know this video ever existed. But it's the truth. I'm out. Deuces.